my absolutely beautiful Taurus friends, and welcome to your horoscope for June of 2022, where Taurus, this month, we do have some forward motion, which is a really beautiful thing. You've been just out there hanging in and surviving these eclipses, the reshaping, the unsettling. I know so many of us in the Taurus, Scorpio, sun sign family have really been rethinking our lives. Am I on track? Is this the right thing? What does this mean to me? And really kind of feeling like there's no way out. Like, when do I get to see it move forward? And this month, I don't think there's a full answer to being able to see the release to move forward. I don't think we're there just yet, but we are cultivating patience and needing to this month do a little bit of energetic cleanup right where we are. But I do want to tell you, Taurus, good news this month is that we do have some forward motion, so you can put your head where your hands are. And I think there's plenty of projects that will take up your attention, so you're not, constantly looking around wondering if you're making the right decisions and when the heck can we get on with this, okay? All right, Taurus, before we jump in, please make sure you have stepped into the community tab of this channel to check out your next class that you're watching. Hopefully you've gone back already and watched the class with Melissa LaFara, Dignities and Abilities, and also watch 2 classes with me, How to Get Your Chart at astro.com and also Chart Anatomy. If you have not checked those out, please make sure you do, because those will be your first 2 live Q&As of year 2 of the YouTube Academy. All right, Taurus, let's get in here so that you can get out with some perspective and live the best of your life, okay? So right at the beginning of the month on the 3rd, we've got Mercury coming direct in your sign, in the energy of Taurus, so at 26 degrees of Taurus. Now, first of all, bring it down to size, okay? You've already seen this. We've already been here. Look back to April 26th. What was happening for you in this particular area of your chart? What were you questioning? What were you thinking about? What were you rethinking in terms of what you add to the world, or what you add to your relationships or your household, or even what you think about yourself? What were you working on at that time? Because you're not working on something new. You're right back to it, okay? So evaluate it in terms like that. Now remember, even though Mercury is direct here and it's good, you can make some decisions if you need to. You can understand that forward logic is available for you. We really are not out of the Mercury retrograde cycle in full until we get to January, till we get to June. You don't have to wait until January. Oh my God, okay? Like June 18th, when we see Mercury get back to that 4 degrees of Gemini. So again, just 26 degrees of Taurus to 4 degrees of Gemini. Just evaluate these areas of your chart to see what the retrograde was bringing you back in touch with. And a lot of it may have been you and how you relate to money, how you relate to how you make money. That could be very different in terms of what you value anymore, okay? Now on the 4th, we're going to see Saturn stepping into its annual retrograde. Happens every year. Going to go retrograde for about 4 months. So we'll see Saturn turn retrograde at 25 degrees of Aquarius. So I want you watching your chart for 25 degrees of Aquarius and 18 degrees of Aquarius, which is where we will see Saturn come out of retrograde October 22nd. So what is Saturn showing you in terms of, you need to tighten this up a little bit so we can come to the next level, or own the hell out of this. You've got mastery. Let's go. Put this out here. So just evaluate those particular areas and degrees of your chart, okay? Now on the 13th, we see Mercury moving into the energy of Gemini. So, okay, little bit of pressure relief. You might start to feel the shoulders wiggle down just a little bit because Mercury is starting to move forward. But remember, we're still in the review of the retrograde path, but decisions around money, also conversations, contracts, maybe decisions on how you need to employ money, because this is your 2nd house energy, might be coming to the table, or you're having to have a lot of conversation around something financial. And I do think as we get to the mid-month, you could see, Taurus, that there is something you need to invest a larger amount of money in. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. But either way, with Mercury moving here to the 2nd house, know that financial conversation may be coming to the table, okay? Now, when we get to the 14th, we're going to have a full moon at 23 degrees of Sagittarius. This is going to light up your 8th house space. Now, the full moon asks us to end something, acknowledge something, or make an adjustment. Okay, Taurus, 8th house energy. This particular full moon is squared to Neptune, and this is making me think that not only is it already lunar in an 8th house, which is pretty deep, so we deal with any kind of debt over there, debt, detox, death. There needs to be a renewal or a rebirth over here, right? But squaring this Neptunian energy, it's making me think like something's not clear. Something has not been clear in your thinking or your understanding of something in your 8th house. You know, did you not put in the right number with your taxes? Heck, you know, are you on the fortunate side where you put in too much? You over budgeted your taxes and now the government's giving you a little bit of money back. Is this the time where you're needing to invest a larger amount of money to detox, to clean up, to take care of a debt? Is it an emotionally karmic debt that is up for you? And really the point of it with this particular full moon being in a mental axis of Sagittarius and Gemini is it's about getting you on course. It's needing to refine your thinking in your current reality, not your visions of what things could be, but what are they now? Because I need to tidy this up. And it doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. It simply means that revelation of information comes to you and you're like, oh, hold on, I need to clean that up. So expect to be doing that. Now, I also think too, for some people, because it is the 8th house, whether it's I've been looking for a counselor or a therapist or an astrology coach or teacher, there could be a revelation of this as well, where you felt like, I don't know who I could possibly go to. And that person, place, or thing presents itself at this time, okay? Now, on the 21st, we've got the sun entering into the energy of Cancer, so lighting up your 3rd house space. The sun brings light, heat, life, and motivation. So now, around communications, communication projects, buying, selling, funnels, books, the website, any of these things, your siblings, right? Short distance travels, any of these things are on the hook and they're ready to go now. And a lot of the question is, are you nurturing this area of your life? And have you built something in your life and in your world and in your belief system and from your heart that allows you to feel secure with this area? You know, where have you moved from your 3rd house space, whether it's the siblings, whether it's the book that you're writing, from this space of codependence to interdependence? How is this changing for you, and are you nurturing that? What are your feelings of nurturing around this particular area? Another thought that I have in this Cancerian area, which we'll get to at the new moon, is that truly, I think through the retrograde of Mercury, you may have discovered that you feel a bit off balance with how you're putting yourself out into the world. And as the sun enters into Cancer, you're ready to like communicate yourself differently in some way. So please let me know how that's translating for you in the comment section down below. Now, the 22nd, I think we see a nice boost of energy for you. Ruling planet Venus is going to come out of your sign and move into the energy of Gemini, so into your 2nd house. Venus is a magnetizer, so now we're going to start to pull in. She's magnetizing your financial area. So if you've had any setbacks, any delays, anything that felt kind of heavy financially, I think this lightens the load a little bit and starts to show that you can draw in. But also the sun has moved into the energy of Cancer. Is this a new product? Is this a book? Is this something that you've put out and now it's able to draw income to you? It's able to communicate a message and therefore you're able to receive financial investment behind it. Is this a trip? Are you finally booked in? You're ready. You're taking that trip. You've been talking about it forever and now you're ready to take this trip. But whatever it is, there's a fair amount of magnetism, of curiosity, and I think you feel financially like you're a little bit more back in, a little bit more like you're back in the game a little bit more, okay? On the 28th, we've got two things happening. First of all, Neptune is stepping into its annual retrograde, and this is going to happen at 25 degrees of Pisces, okay? Now, when Neptune goes retrograde, what it can feel like is like reality just gets really real. Like, boom, we are in reality. There's no like soft daydreamy buffers for us. But what it's really attempting to do when Neptune goes retrograde is to get us into our reality. Like, this is your life, not the daydream over here and not the vision that you're creating. We want the vision. We need the vision, right? But here's the steady of your life. Here's the reality. So within this, what needs to be adjusted, or what haven't you seen? What have you been being delusional about? So you're making idealistic decisions in a reality life, and so they're not able to move forward. So it really gives us a space and time, I think, to, first of all, it can feel really disappointing. It can. A Neptune retrograde, even though we can't put our finger on it because it's a little bit further away, it can feel disappointed. I'm somewhat discontent with my reality. You need that. You need the discontent to help you get your actions in alignment with the reality that's on your table, and then you can make decisions from the truth. The truth will set you free, because if this is not in alignment with the ideals that you have, if your reality is not in alignment with the ideals that you want for yourself, how are we going to reshape that? Now, this is around your 11th house space, okay? Friends, social groupings, social media, the way that you're seen out in the world, what you want to be known for. And I also do think, Taurus, too, for some of you, you might just be exhausted at this particular point. So it may also feel like, without having it be an eclipse, like somehow socially you've been eclipsed, and you might not care. If you need a downtime, take your downtime, okay? Now, also on the 28th, we've got a new moon happening in the energy of Cancer, so again in this 3rd house space. At the new moon, we're planting our seeds of intention to begin something or to give something a fresh start here. And I really believe for so many of you Taurans out there, this is the fresh launch towards a creative project or a creative trip that like fills your cup. There's something about this level of commitment to communication, a commitment to nurturing something into reality and improving the way that this sits with you, the security that this brings to your life, that really has a big impact on filling your cup. And I also think too that for some of you, if this actually happens to be a teaching, speaking, traveling engagement of some variety, that you feel quite good. You feel quite passionate and quite strongly about it. And I do want you to keep in mind that the work you've been doing and the way that you've been growing, even if you're not super solid on what everything is or should be just yet, there are rewards for the decisions that you are making. And I really want to leave that with you. And I think it's so important, Taurus, that it's just not time for all of the answers yet. So just put your head where your hands are, work right there, stay in the present, and trust that it is all unfolding perfectly and in your divine favor, okay? All right, my absolutely beautiful Tauran friends, enjoy the month. Like this video, comment, share, subscribe. I love you, and I'll see you next month. Bye, everyone.